Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So our group will be presenting our research project, which the title is Mental Health Issues Among Adolescents. My name is Nur Faridina Amira and I will be presenting on the introduction topic. Okay, first, before we go further, I would like to brief you guys about our research project. Basically, our research project is a qualitative study that we conduct on adolescents to know about mental health issues that occurs among them. We would like to know the factors and also the effects that they think contribute to mental health issues. So this is our research objective that we had done. The first one is to identify the factors of mental health issues among adolescents, and the second one is to acknowledge the effects of mental health issues among adolescents. So our research project is aimed to know the factors and effects of mental health issues among adolescents. In order to achieve our objective, we had construct two research questions from the objective. The first one is, what are the causes of mental health issues that occurs among adolescents? And the second research question is, what are the effects of mental health on adolescents' well-being? So these two research questions are based on previous research objectives. Moving on to the methodology. So the methods of our research project is we conducted an online interview for our respondents using Google Meet. And in the interview session, we only used open-ended questions for us to gain more information about what we want to know regarding this issue. So this is the brief profile of our respondents. In our research, we had two respondents. The first one is a 19-year-old male and he is a university student, and the second respondent is a 17-year-old female and she is a high school student. Both of them, we can see here, both of them are in their late adolescent stage. Okay, so for our interview questions, we had done 7 interview questions, and before that we already divided them into 3 aspects. The first one is physical, the second one is emotion, and the last one is academic. So next slide will show you guys the interview questions that we had done. Okay, so that's all for me. Thank you, and I will pass to my other group mates to discuss about the findings and results of our research project. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rafael, so I will continue the presentation with finding our results. So basically, for finding our result, we have divided the interview question into 3 aspects, which is physical, emotion, and academic. So I will continue the presentation with the physical aspect. So for physical aspect, there are 3 questions that relates to this physical aspect, and all of 3 questions are related to research question 2. Okay. For question 1, in your opinion, does mental health affect you physically and why? So for respondent 1, he mentioned that mental health issues has affect him physically and give a negative impact on his physical health, and it also may lead to a risk condition if not being treated. Meanwhile, respondent 2 mentioned that mental health issue affected her as she feel like losing the interest in what she used to love. She started losing interest in playing squash, and she even cut her wrist back then when she was in Form 1. And the respondent also said that she used to hit her leg with the racket if she lost in a game. Okay, let's proceed with question 2, which is, based on your observation, what are the common changes that may occur in physical activity if someone is having mental health issues? So for this question, respondent 1 mentioned that he will distracting himself from doing any kind of work. Mental health actually make he lost focus on work or tasks that he had to do at the moment, and he will feel disturbed. Meanwhile, for respondent 2, she mentioned that when someone, especially among adolescents, when they experience mental health issues, like she gave the example, like her friend, they will feel insecure and refrain themselves from being in the group. She also mentioned that she even has the intention to do self-harm, but she didn't continue it but only cry in order to express her problem. She also will listen to songs that related to sadness or suicide when the mental health issues occur in herself. Okay. Next, proceed to question 3. Do mental health issues interfere your daily life activity, and how does it work that way? Okay, so for this question, the respondent mentioned that he thinks that mental health issues can interfere his daily life because in order to do work, he needs to be free from emotion and health problem. Meanwhile, respondent 2 mentioned that mental health issues actually distract her from focusing on her daily life. She shared that remembering and thinking of the problem interferes her from finishing the homework, and as a result, she will not study at all as she cannot focus to do so. She also said that the problem somehow affects her eating schedule and appetite. Okay, so from that, it can be seen that respondent 2 really get carried away once she recall or remember anything that will trigger her mental well-being. So I think that's all from me. I will pass the floor to next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Shafira. So I will continue with the next findings and result, which is in terms of emotions. The interview question that have been asked to the respondent is question number 1. Are you able to control and regulate your emotions well? If yes, how do you express your emotions? If not, what did you do to ease the frustrations or other discomfort feelings? So based on the answer from respondent 1, he mentioned that he knows to manage his emotions effectively. For example, he can apply breathing and relaxing technique to calm himself down. He also able to think for solutions on how to control his emotions by using other alternative. For example, if the breathing or relaxing technique doesn't work, he will ask for some advice whenever he face any kind of problem. So he also aware of his current conditions and know how to take a good care of himself on his own. He also mentions that receiving support from people around him is also one of the contributing factors that will influence on how he will regulate his emotions. So if he receives support from people around him, he will able to control his emotions excellently, as he believes that having a good environment will make our emotions become better. Okay, next, in contrast with respondent 1, respondent 2 answer, as you can see on the quotes that I have put on the slide, ketuk kaki sampai lebam guna raket and duduk sorang-sorang lepas tu menangis. So, that is the way for her to express her emotions. So, we can conclude that she actually can't control or regulate her emotions well. She also unable to release her anger and frustrations in a healthy way. So because of that, she tends to hurt herself in order to make her feel better, and she even admits that by hurting herself, it will make her feel relief. So based on the answer from respondent 1 and respondent 2, we can conclude that inability to regulate emotions is one of the contributing factors of mental health issues among adolescents, or in simple word, different types of coping mechanism. Okay, so next, the interview questions number 2. Do you often feel demotivated to start your day? If yes, would you mind to share the reasons why you feel that way? So, the answer from respondent 1, he mentioned that he often feels demotivated to start his day because of personal things, such as having issues with his lecturers, boss, and family members. So, due to that problems, he does not feel excited and happy to start his day. So, based on the answer, we can conclude that negative relationship with people around can influence their emotions, and also could be one of the factors that will contribute to their mental health issues among adolescents, since environments actually can affect their emotions at large. Okay, next, for the respondent 2, she mentioned that she often feels demotivated because she tends to overthink a lot. She will feel frustrated because overthinking will refrain her to do things that she has planned before. For instance, when she already allocates and plans to study for the next day, but because of the overthinking problem, she was unable to do it. She needs to do a lot of things and balance between her studies, schools, and her life, but because of her overthinking problem, it will oftenly distract her most of the time, and it will affect her mood and makes her feel frustrated. Okay, so in another word, we can call it as ruminating, which is a process when you think deeply about the same thoughts. which could be unpleasant to that individual. Rice et al. 2008 also mentioned that uncontrollability of ruminations has been getting much attention recently because it closely related to depressive symptoms, meaning that ruminations usually will be associated with depression as it can affect our ability to think and also to process our emotions. Okay, so in short, based on the answer from the respondent, from the interview questions number 1 and 2 under emotions, we can conclude that the factors of mental health issues among adolescents could be from their different types of coping mechanism or how they express their problems. Secondly, environments and also relationship, and lastly, inability to regulate their emotions or thoughts. So, which answering the research questions number 1, what are the causes of mental health issues among adolescents? So I think that's all from me. Thank you. Moving on to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Nabila and I will proceed with the last aspect of our finding, academic. There are 2 interview questions under this aspect. First, do mental health issues give negative impacts on academic performance? Second, how mental health issues interrelate to academic matters. As for the first interview question, respondent 1 agreed that mental health issues affect academic performance. He stated that mental health issues have a relationship with academic performance. Yes, for this issue, because mental health issues are highly linked to academic performance. So we can say that a good state of mental health will help to have good academic performance and vice versa. We interpret it as if a person is having a mental health issue, he or she has the tendency to perform poorly in academics. Respondent 2 mentioned about her schoolwork, kerja khusus seni dan perniagaan. Whenever her teacher tells her to quickly finish the schoolwork, she will feel stressed as she faces difficulty managing her time. She will also feel burdened to finish the schoolwork whenever she comes to deal with her mental health issue. It is easy to work under pressure as pressure triggers anxiety and will distract attentiveness. Proceed with second interview question, how mental health issues interrelate to academic matters. Respondent 1 mentioned that excellent students do not have mental health issues, have a supportive family, live in a good environment and get a good job. Mental health conditions affect the person's academic performance. If a person is having a poor mental health condition, they may not perform well in their study. It also seems that a good environment plays a part in determining a person's mental health, which will later on give impact on their academic performance. Respondent 2, on the other hand, shared that she faces difficulty dealing with study group. She also said that people who are having mental health issues will feel insecure to mingle around. In regards to academic matters, this will become a problem when an individual needs to involve in study group as he or she finds it is hard to approach and befriend others.
Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Nurkalisa Adila binti Abdul Halim, metric number 1816152. So moving on to the next part, which is limitation. So the first limitation is to find suitable respondents. So we were quite struggling to find suitable respondents because we are worried that young adolescents may come up with answers that are inappropriate and do not fulfill our objectives. So we try our best to find suitable respondents by asking our family members, close friends, our school juniors, and etc. So it is just the process to find suitable respondents is quite time consuming and hard. So the next limitation is communication barrier. So one of our respondents had problem with the internet connection, and sometimes her voice was not clear during the interview session, and we need to repeat the question and ask her to repeat the answers. So as you all know, conducting online interview session is quite challenging, so that's why it is one of our limitations for this project. So lastly, respondent reluctant to open up. So one of our respondent, she reluctant to open up about her factors or the causes of her to be diagnosed with mental health issues. So we cannot force her to do so, then we just skip the session. So because of that, we were unable to find out the factor of her mental health issues. So we can just only assume based on her answers for the other interview questions. So for the next part is recommendation. So we recommend to conduct quantitative research instead of qualitative research, and we want to distribute a questionnaire to the respondents. Also, the questionnaire should consist of both open-ended and closed-ended questions. So the closed-ended questions should be pretty straightforward and precise in order to get an accurate result. Also, the open-ended questions should be able to describe and help us to acknowledge and visualize more about the closed-ended questions. As a conclusion, the factors in mental health issues among adolescents, according to the interview session, are lack of support from parents, academic matters, relationship with others, and also environment. Also, we achieve our objectives to find out the effect of mental health issues to their physical, emotion, and also academic. So lastly, it is crucial to inform, educate, and cultivate the knowledge about mental health, because based on my observation, mental health issues is like a stigma where people who have this issue, they would be labeled as problematic and crazy. So the one who suffers from it, they scared to ask for help from professionals. So when it is left untreated, that is why cases such as self-harm, self-injury, suicide increasing day by day. So it affects their life entirely. So that's why it is crucial to instill awareness about mental health. So I think that is all from me and my group members. Thank you.